All right, so before we get started, I wanted to mention some housekeeping guidelines. Please stay muted to prevent background noise. If you wish to speak, use the raised hand feature located in the reactions tab. And in older versions, you can use it or get to it in the participant section of Zoom. Once you raise your hand, you'll be called to the floor in the order presented. This will help with the flow of the meeting and with Robert's Rules of Order, which requires one person to be on the floor at one time. If you speak without being called on the floor, then you will be speaking out of order and there is a chance you will be muted. If you are a city representative, please enter your contact information in the chat. We're going to be calling you in the order in which your information is entered in the chat, other than first responders like police officers and firefighters. Also, one thing to note is the next meeting. The next meeting is January the 18th, which is a Tuesday instead of a Monday. Our bylaws state that if the meeting falls on a Monday, which is if it's a federal holiday, which it is Martin Luther King Day at that day, then the meeting will be on the following Tuesday. So in this case, the meeting is on January the 18th at 7 p.m. I want to start off by giving a couple of shout outs. First, I want to shout out the Angel Tree. So we raised about $2,500 in NPU-Y, also got over $1,500 in gifts and donations. We helped four or five or six families. Some of the things that we gave to them was helping them with the necessities and the quality of life. For example, we gave them pots, we gave them pans, we gave them diapers, we gave clothes away, we gave toys for the children. My house was literally looking like the North Pole for a couple of days because there was so many gifts that were given by the community. So we appreciate everybody who participated in the Angel Tree. Also want to give a shout out to Kara, Katie, Monique with the Carver Cluster Foundation. So in our community, we're starting a foundation to help the schools and help get certain programming into the schools. And Katie, Kara, and Monique, they all was participating in that along with Ishay. Also, I want to give a special shout out to everybody who has committed to be a committee chairperson. So this is the first time since I've been in NPU where all committee chairpersons for standing committees have been filled. So we have filled all the slots for standing committees for chairpersons for next year. So please look forward for that. I'm going to send it to the executive board first before we send it to the body for review. I'd like to get a motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved, Gloria.
So moved by Gloria. Can I get a second?
I'll second. Jacob Mills.
Jacob Mills. All those in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time. One thing to note, if you are a voting member, to be a voting member, you must have attended 3 out of the last 12 calendar months. So this will be your 3rd meeting out of the last 12 calendar months. All right. Okay, so we have 7. I'm going to drop it at this point. We have
8 for me, please.
8. Okay. Okay, 8. All right. All those who are not in favor of approval of the minutes. The minutes are located in the NPU-Y.org website. All those not in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, seeing none, we have 8-0-0. We'll now ask for or solicit a motion for approval of the agenda.
So
The
move, Kelly
agenda-
Jean.
Moved by Kelly Jean. Can I get a second?
I'll second Nicole Weiswasser.
Nicole Weiswasser. All right. All those in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time. Ten. Or 11. All right, closing the vote now. All those who wish to oppose the agenda, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, all those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, motion carries 11-0-0. I also wanted to give a warm introduction to Christiana Marie Dutton, who is our new NPU-Y planner. She will be a new NPU-Y planner for next year. So we warmly welcome you to NPU-Y, and we appreciate the service that you do for the city of Atlanta. All right, moving forward to the next item, which is the reports from city department representatives.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Yep.
Star 9 to raise your hand and 6 to mute and unmute.
Yep. If you are calling in, which I don't see anybody, but you use star 9 to raise the hand and star 6 to mute and unmute if you're calling in. All right, moving forward to city department representatives. I guess we'll start with the fire department.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Good evening. My name is Captain Michael Williams. I'm assigned to fire station number 1. That'll be downtown, but I'm filling in for Battalion Chief Jason Whitby, who's on vacation today. He left me quite a few talking points to give to you guys. As you know, we have hit the winter months, and winter months typically mean cold weather, carbon monoxide. So I'm going to start with a couple things. Carbon monoxide, we know that's a odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. Many people call it it's the sleeping gas. We want to encourage everyone to come by your local fire station. Request for a carbon monoxide alarm along with a smoke alarm. We do have the combos at a number of our different stations. The stations that service your area would be Station 2, located on Jonesboro Road, Station 30, located on Cleveland Avenue, and I want to say you would have Station 20 on Manford Road. I think they're a little bit too far out for you guys, but any of the 30 fire stations that we have in the city of Atlanta, you guys are welcome to come. You can request a smoke alarm / carbon monoxide detector. One of the things is we get this a lot, and we want to really educate. We'll have people say they smell carbon monoxide. You can't smell carbon monoxide, but what you can do, you can have indications of carbon monoxide. One of the things is a headache, sudden fatigue, being very sick. If you have any of those 3 symptoms, we urge you to call 911 immediately. We do have fire trucks that has the monitors on them, and we can detect that gas. The other thing we want to highly speak on is smoke alarms. Please make sure your smoke alarm batteries are changed. Make sure you have a currently working smoke alarm. If you don't, again, please come to a fire station, any 30 fire stations in the city limits. we will be happy to install a smoke alarm, give you a free smoke alarm, replace the batteries. We'd be happy to do that. So the smoke alarms is a big thing. As you know, tonight it's a cold night. Last night was cold. The cold months are coming in hot and heavy. So what we want to do, we want to educate everyone in the community, make sure that smoke alarm is working properly. Christmas tree safety. It's a couple things. I don't know if anybody still buys real trees. I think I'm probably the only one that still does. But a real tree, there's a couple things I want to explain to everyone. Make sure the tree is at least 3 feet away from any type of a heat source. We're talking about a fireplace, radiator heaters, candles, or any heat vents. The heat that comes off these heating sources can and will cause a fire. Let's make sure the tree is not blocking any exit, like a window or a door. Believe it or not, if you're trying to get out of a smoke-filled house, if that tree is blocking any of those exits, it's going to make it very, very difficult for you to escape. Also, when you're decorating your tree, make sure that you have a good string lights, the Christmas lights. Make sure those lights aren't, the cords aren't frayed or damaged. That's another thing that, especially with a real Christmas tree, will start a fire. We encourage you never to use candles to decorate your tree. And always turn off your Christmas tree before you get ready to leave home or before going to bed. And last but not least, we're going to talk about your holiday decorating. Let's make sure we keep our children and our fur babies away from the Christmas tree. Children and our fur babies, they like to knock things over, and that's the number one cause to fires this time of year. Let's keep all our matches and lighters locked away this time of year. And when we're in the kitchen, let's stay attended to the food that we're cooking in the kitchen this time of year. I know it's a lot of people coming in for the holidays, want to be with family and everything. Let's make sure we keep.
Oh. What happened? I think he froze. Or is that me?
1578 Jonesboro Road, where we had 3 victims shot. They advised they was walking in some dark color sedan, drove up on the side of them, opened fire. None life-threatening injuries. We had several shootings in that, in the, different areas. At first, we thought maybe they might have been related, but right now they're still investigating all that. Those other 2 shootings in 2 other beats. But we had officers out there doing 89, especially around that 1723, Lakewood, 1634, Lakewood, in those traditional troubled areas. We usually have an uptick in this time of the year. My crime suppression team makes some good arrests out there. Beat units are still going out, educating people that's go out there and take a police report on stolen vehicles. Even though we just have this for the past 2 months, we just had 5 auto thefts in the Lakewood NPU-Y area. So it's looking good as far as that goes. Between November and December, we've only had 16 ag assaults, and out of those 16 ag assaults, 9 of those were people either domestic violence or acquaintances. So these people know each other. It's not like just random strangers. Several of them can't determine whether it's somebody they knew or not. Listen those as unknowns, or something related to a drive-by where somebody opened fire on somebody's vehicle or their houses. We only had 1 robbery, a Spanish-speaking victim. We had a translator. He was a contractor working at one of the locations, and he was robbed. And we just had 12 burglaries. They have some leads. I think they have made some arrests on some of those burglaries that we have. Officers doing real good taking prints as it relates to burglaries, as well as stolen autos that have been recovered in our zone. But other than that, like I said, we keep preaching the clean car campaign to leave your cars running. It's cold. You know, people want to go out there and warm up the cars and leave the cars running. I don't care if it's in your driveway. You know, most of our crimes when it comes down to stolen vehicles have been keys with the vehicle. We had 12 last week in the whole zone, and out of those 12, 7 of those had keys in them. So we got to keep pushing that out to the people that's in the neighborhood. You know, to leave the cars running for no matter if it's for 30 seconds. But other than that, that's all I have to report out. If anybody has any questions of me.
Thank you. Is there any questions? Please use the raise hand feature for the benefit of the body. All right, Jazz.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm unmuted, right?
Yeah, you're unmuted. Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Captain Evans. Actually, wanted to mention that I know there was a shooting on Lethia Street, but the 3 people who were shot were actually coming from the store at 1634 Lakewood, and they were followed by people who were parked in the parking lot at 1634. The Sunday morning just prior, I received a bullet in my window, in my kitchen window, from the shooting of there was a party going on at the biker club across the street, and they were conveniently going over to the liquor store that said they were not going to be open past midnight a year or so ago, and they were shooting, and the stray bullets came into my home. So I just want to say, before you wonder what's going on at the top of the post office, it's still coming from the very same place. You mentioned it before, the shoot 'em up Chevron, and now the new hot spot is 1634 Lakewood. That is where they're all hanging out, and that is where the shooting is sourcing. I conveniently sent you a full video of it, and I have an edited video in the chat on YouTube, which shows arrows of the people leaving 1634 and the people going up the street, because I know it takes a lot of time to look at those cameras. Oddly enough, you have a police camera right there at that corner in front of 1634. I have yet to hear or see anything from those cameras. Why am I the person that's recording all of this?
I appreciate your concern, and appreciate you putting that information out there, sir. We checked the status on that camera, and they are currently trying to get that camera repaired. I don't know the actual details why that camera is malfunctioning, but they are trying to get that camera repaired as quickly as possible. And you're absolutely correct. And I appreciate you sending. I take it you just sent me that email, which you're referring to, correct?
I sent it to you. I sent it to Major Peaks just before he left, and he said he was going to pass it on. But I wanted to make sure that there was no lag and anything. But yeah, it should be known that where the shooting is coming from.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate your support, and I truly can understand your aggravation. I know if I was in the same situation you was in, I'd be aggravated too. And I just appreciate you pushing that information out to us. And I'll make sure I re-look at my emails and I check the status on that particular case. But I do know that case is still open at this particular time.
So you all was not able to capture the video on the camera?
No, sir. No, sir.
So
that's how they realized the camera wasn't working when they was out there investigating what he's referring.
Okay, so y'all recently just realized
yes,
that.
Sir.
So the hottest spot in Lakewood is basically being recorded by me.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're not going to be doing it too much longer by yourself. I can assure you of that. Like I said, I don't know. I have to call my video integration center supervisor and just see what's going to be the status, what's the stand down, what's the turnaround time on that camera being back up.
Well, yeah. Well, I included a photo of the bullet that came through the window. It's going to cost $500 to fix the window, and the bullet hole that's in the window. So just imagine if that had been when I was cooking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me ask you this. Did you call the police out there to take a ride?
I did. Well, I'm not calling the police to come over to let them come and stand in front of 1634 where they all look. I did report it to an officer and I did let them know. Oh, I told Major Peaks directly what was going on.
Okay, now I was trying to see, did you get a report done? That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can understand that the bullets are coming through your home directly across the street and you call the police over to your house and the police aren't even recording it because they don't care, what am I supposed to do?
So what we'll do is, this is important. So Captain Adams, we probably have to start up an email thread with some of our leaders, Jazz being one of them, and figure out some action items, because there is a lot of shootings happening by Jazz House and in the area. So we'll talk offline and figure out ways that we can better serve the community in that regard.
Yeah, but this isn't Jazz's house. This is Lakewood. This
Yeah,
is
Lakewood,
in
yeah,
South Atlanta. This is our neighborhood. These bullets can fly into anyone's home. I'm the only one recording it, but this is affecting everyone. Let's be clear. Everyone's home value, everybody.
Jazz, I'm fully aware. I'm concerned, so that's why I was mentioning it. So we're going to try to get through this and figure out ways that we can make sure that the entire community, NPU-Y as a whole, has accountability towards issues like this. So making sure that we stay accountable towards the city representatives and make sure if things are malfunctioning, it needs to get fixed. So we'll talk offline because for the sake of the meeting. All right, we're going to move forward to. I jumped off, so the contacts did get removed. Is there anybody from the suite team? All right, is there anybody from Watershed?
Excuse me, looks like we have a raised hand from Gloria. Didn't know if that was relevant to Jazz's.
Yeah, it was. If you don't, Mr. Chair, it's just very brief. There is a camera at Rhodesia and Jonesboro Road. Captain Adams, we had a chance to view that. It pans all the way down Jonesboro and Lakewood Avenue. Is it insufficient in capturing some of those images?
I'll follow up with our Ag Assault team and see whether or not they was able to get some video coverage of that that particular incident. But like I say, the camera, they look at all those cameras in the immediate area, and that's how they knew that camera wasn't working. And naturally, that camera definitely would have caught a lot more. So they're the one that's actively taking the lead on those cases. In those cases like that, when it's involving aggravated assault, the ag assault investigators actually work those cases. And once they start working us the lead, that's when they'll cue us in to let us know, where we're at or what bolos, lookouts that they may have or develop, so we can pass it out to the beat officers in my crime suppression team.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a slew of hands and we have to get through the agenda. I'm allowed for a couple more, and we're gonna have to do a cutoff around like 7:35 to discontinue. So Paul, go ahead. Paul, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'm Captain. Sorry, I should know what your rank is, but I don't. Are you a captain?
Yes, sir.
Captain Adams. Can you tell me any regulatory issues that we should raise against this private club, the motorcycle club, because they serve alcohol and act as an alcohol restaurant, and they don't seem to be under the regular liquor store licenses.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you tell me anything that that the police can do when it comes to when a private club is out of control?
Yes, we use our license and permits code. We'll have them go out there, and it's several techniques. I don't want to go into details, but that location has been popping up back on the radar again. I mean, it has traditionally in the past, and sometimes we'll naturally check their liquor license, see how they operate. A lot of times, how they get away with it, they say they're operating as a restaurant. That's what allows them to stay up much later. We also look at, sir?
The problem is it's not a private club in the sense of like a nightclub or not.
Oh, yes.
It's a club in that it claims to have limited membership.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't go through the liquor license permitting process.
Yes.
So how do you regulate that when they're having issues like a liquor store or a convenience store?
Well, take for example, like an event hall. You know, certain events you still got to have. You still got to have. You still got to have a permit. You know, we can look at a certificate of occupancy. It's a lot of things we can put in play if they're not, you know, adhering to that. You know, depending on what the kind of events they got going on, they can be cited for it. And what we do, we send our code enforcement in there to deal with that. You know, license permits, rather, to go and check it, do compliance checks, and just see what they're doing. You know, you got some places where if you're operating as an event hall or whatever the case may be, or in their capacity, like bring your own, as they said, you know, back in the day, bring your own booze. They just can't store it for the person or allow the person to sell it inside that dwelling. But
well, they don't.
it will be checked. That's
Oh.
that's where we can do it and issue citations or arrests as they see when they go in and what violations they see while they're there.
So Paul, for the second time, we're gonna do one more question. It's 7:34. There's a question in the chat for Ramona. She mentioned, is there a regular maintenance schedule for cameras, or is it when someone or something of this nature happens when we become aware that it's not working? So is there some type of maintenance schedule, or how does it work?
I know some of the cameras, I know they have a warranty on them, and sometimes the warranty being like the Atlanta Police Foundation, they'll cover those cameras most of the time up to like 3 years. Then it's on the responsibility, I guess, whoever purchased the camera to make sure they paid for the maintenance on the camera. They have their system is to monitor the cameras, and I guess they put in work orders like with anything that's broken. And I guess it's upon the contractors or subcontractors come out and get to those cameras and get those cameras repaired, because we have had some issues in other zones where, you know, a camera wasn't working, and obviously we had a crime to take place. So that prohibits us as well as law enforcement agency to be able to solve these crimes, because that everything now is technology. Most of the stuff that's getting solved is technology. So we need that technology out there to, you know, quickly identify, you know, get the lookouts out. I mean, on these cases, or, you know, you see it on TV where they give out rewards. You know, when they put the bolo out on TV, hey, can you identify this person? So that's definitely an instrument that we have to have if we're gonna combat crime. And like I said, I apologize for anybody, you know, had to be a victim before we find out something's broken. But we working diligently to get these cameras up and running, especially down in that area.
So yeah, we'll chat offline, Captain Adams, try to figure out some strategies around this. What is and then also last question here, somebody asked about any more details about the shooting with the Family Dollar this past Saturday.
No, that's still open. That's still open with a female pointing the gun. I think that was involving a female down at that store. Like I said, we had several incidents, you know, over there. You know, at that Family Dollar has always been, you know, it's just going to be an uptick because it's the holidays. And but that case right now currently is still open right now. But those people were acquaintances. They know each other. It wasn't no random, you know, just somebody shopping, you know, but those people were known to each other.
All right. Appreciate it, Captain Adams, for serving the community. And yeah, we look forward to chatting later. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I
also
just want to,
go ahead.
okay, I appreciate it. I just want to repeat that we do have a new Major Ricker. He's a 27-year vet of the Atlanta Police Department. He was out there several years ago, back in the 90s, as an officer. So he's familiar with the layout of Zone 3. So as time go on, I'll be reaching out to the NPU leadership and making sure everybody gets introduced so you know who your major is. But you're still stuck with me though.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the fire department for your service as well. Thank you. All right, moving forward. Is there anybody from code enforcement? If you are a city representative, please raise your hand at this time. Use the raise hand feature. Seeing if I can recognize anybody here. All right, we're going to allow the, okay. So we're going to allow the elected officials to speak. Or Timothy Cannon, you can go ahead and speak at this time. Timothy Cannon, you called to the floor.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good evening. My name is Timothy Cannon, and I'm a support services coordinator for ATL 311, which is the non-emergency call center for the city of Atlanta. And the number you would dial to report things like water main breaks, questions about your water bill, code violations, and other general information. Our call center is open from 7 a.m. through 7 p.m., completely virtual. And you can reach us by dialing 311 inside the incorporated city, or you can dial us at 404-546-0311. I'll put out other information in the chat. And does anyone have any questions?
Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature at this time. So I did have one question. So recently, some people put out some 311 requests, but it got closed. It was around the trash pickup, and they was wondering why did it get closed? It had a response, but it was just a generic response saying that it's an ongoing issue. So we wanted to understand, if that happens, is there a point of contact that we can potentially reach?
Yes, sir. I put it in the chat. If that ever happens, just email let me see what it is again, the ATL 311 at atlantaga.gov. That's going to go to the management body, and then someone from management, excuse me, will get back in contact with you. Would you happen to have the case number or anything now, and I can send it over to them?
I can get it for you, and I email it to you offline. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Shantae just mentioned that she has had a 311 request that she made several times since the summer and hasn't got resolved. Shall she email that same number, or is there anybody that she can contact?
Email that same address, the ATL 311. Like I say, that goes over to our back office, and they will research it for you to find out like what department the service request is going to, and let them know that it hasn't been completed. And they will also reach back out to you to let you know what's basically going on with it. But yeah, you would just email the one that I put in the chat, ATL 311 at atlantaga.gov.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Is there any other questions for the benefit of the body?
Troy, I will drop that case number from High Point Estates into the chat for you.
Okay, thank you. Could you repost the address, the email address that you posted earlier?
I can.
I think Heather just posted it on behalf of you.
Oh, she
All
got
right.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we appreciate your service and thank you for attending the NPU-Y meeting.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to allow the newly elected Antonio Lewis office to speak. I see the chief of staff has his hand raised.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. I just want to say hello to everybody. Let you all know that I am definitely excited to be here. Antonio is excited to work with the community, especially all the amazing NPU members and leaders who have been working diligently for so many years to make Atlanta a great place to be. We definitely intend to make sure we continue to partner with you all in whatever way possible. We've had productive meetings with folks so far. And we'll continue to do that as we move forward, and to really just really making sure that you all are really happy with our 100-day plan. We have a lot of great things in store. Man, if there's anything that you need, any questions or concerns, or anything that you want to see prioritized, feel free to reach out to me. My number and my email address is in the chat. Thank you all again. I appreciate the time.
All right, thank you. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature. All right, seeing none, we appreciate Michael for you attending. Thank you for attending on behalf of Antonia, or newly elected or council person elect Antonia Lewis, and we look forward to continuing the partnerships. And thank you for the meeting that we had a couple of weeks ago with the NPU chairs. We appreciate that.
No problem. No, thank you as well, brother.
All right. Moving forward to is there any other city officials? Is there any other city officials? Please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, seeing we're going to go ahead and move forward to matters of voting. You can scroll down to the. All right, we're going to start. There's only 2 matters of voting, both within Lakewood Heights. We're going to start with the Quick Pick Food Mart, Lakewood Avenue. This is a change of ownership. Is the applicant online? Is the applicant online?
They probably hung up.
Seeing none, can I get a recommendation from the Lakewood Heights community? Well, first the applicant's required to attend the meetings, but can I get what the recommendation was from the Lakewood Heights community? Zachary, I think Zachary was online.
I'm actually going to defer to Gloria on this because she handled this. We didn't take a vote because the applicant didn't show up, but Gloria, do you have any other further thoughts around this?
Zach, I'm really not certain. I do know last meeting, it was their motion to defer it. My suspicion, my gut is that neither Troy nor I sent them out the link. Although I would dare say Mr. Bailey knows that we meet the second Monday. But the fact that they're not here tonight also leads me to believe it may be something else, because even if they missed our meeting, they should know of this meeting. I think we look to see the date that the hearing is scheduled, and it is not currently scheduled, which means that, oftentimes we're coming up against a hearing date. So that's the best I can report, Zach.
Okay.
Thank you.
With that being said, I'd like to solicit a motion to defer. Or solicit a motion.
So moved. So moved.
All right.
So
can I get a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by Lear. All right. Is there any points for discussion? Is there any points of discussion? Seeing none, I'd like to go ahead and move forward with the votes. All those who are in favor of deferral, please use the raise hand feature at this time. In order to be a voting member, you must have attended 3 out of the last 12 calendar months, this being your 3rd meeting. All right, what's the count?
12.
All right, thank you. And lowering the hands down. All those who wish to oppose the deferral, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All those who wish to reject the deferral. All right, what's the count?
1.
All right. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, what's the count?
1.
All right, motion carries to defer. And I will mention to Daniel they did not show for this meeting, so that way they can make sure they show for the next meeting. And I will also reach out to Terry Bailey as well. All right. Moving forward. The next item is V21317. Is the applicant online?
Yes, I am. This is Gail Mooney, 657 Lake Drive, Snellville, Georgia. Hello to everybody. Hello to Miss Suzanne Otis. Hey, good to see your name again.
All right, so you can go ahead and spend 2 minutes.
Okay. Yes. So this application is to reduce the setbacks for a very small lot at 31 Hopkins Street. So we want to reduce the front yard from 35 feet to 22.8, and then the rear yard setback from 15 to 5.2. And so the motivation for this is it's a very small lot. It's a recognized lot in the city of Atlanta. There was a house there at some point in time. It has been demolished quite a few years ago from the looks of the site. And the property owner wishes to build a 1,700 square foot, that's 2-story, on this lot with off-street parking. And we do not plan to use the alley. We have no intentions of closing the alley, which appears to be open from Hopkins to the other street on the other side. I forget what it is. And that's about it.
Parsons is the adjoining street.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there a recommendation from Lakewood Heights community?
Yeah, we voted to approve this, just with the clarification around the alleyway not being closed, but the vote was to approve it.
All right, with that said, I'd like to solicit a motion.
Motion to affirm the neighborhood's decision.
Second.
Motion by Kelly Jean, seconded by Gloria. All right, I'd like to open the floor up for discussion. Jacob?
Yeah, just a quick question. Is this particular lot, was this subdivided a long time ago between one single family parcel and two parcels?
Not that I'm aware of.
The
Based on,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, we don't have any record of that information. I don't know how far back the 31 Hopkins exists. I could do a little research, but I do not believe it was not a recent subdivision for sure. I didn't look at the cadastral map to see if that was a lot on the cadastral map. And I could probably take a few minutes and look that up if you would like.
I'm actually looking at the map right now, and I was just wondering, based on lot size, because of how small the lot size it is itself, it looks as if at some point it was just subdivided. It was a single family lot that was co-divided either by the owner at the time or by someone. So, but you guys do have access from the alleyway, is that correct?
Yes. Although we don't plan to use the alley. So the entrance is going to be on Hopkins.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Paul? Paul, you're called to the floor.
just want to point out that even though these are variances to the lot size, it is still in conformance with the Lakewood LCI, the single family house on a single lot. And so therefore, with off-street parking. So even though they're asking for these variances, I think overall it's in conformance with the Lakewood development plan, which is the Lakewood LCI.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Gloria?
Yeah, if Zach is present, Zach, I believe in your notes somewhere, there was another inquiry by, I think it was Atia about construction, something about the construction debris, et cetera, et cetera. Was there some additional inquiry or concern that was raised?
Yeah, I think it was just related to the closing of the alley and ensuring that the contractors and development crew don't close the alley. So I think as long as that is agreed to here, that addresses the concerns from the residents of that who utilize that alleyway.
Gotcha.
It was about obstructing, I think, during, so like not just closing it, but actually like people use the alley regularly. So it was about obstruction.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So
Well, to conform to, let me just make a point on that, to conform to City of Atlanta building standards, we have to maintain all of the construction materials, material storage, portable toilet, dumpster. They all have to be maintained on the lot. So it's going to be surrounded by silt fencing. And so there'll be no opportunity for any construction activity to exceed past the property lines.
Thank you. All right, is there any other questions?
I have one more question.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I'm sorry. Do you know the actual lot size of that particular lot?
Yes. The one in question? Yes, I have the site plan right here. And that lot size is, I think it's 3,000. Let me get in better light. Hold on.
I think it was 3,800, I believe. A little bit over 3,800, I think.
It's 3,300.
3,300, okay, yeah.
It's actually 3,240 square feet.
Oh, that is a small lot. Okay.
It's very small. It's the smallest one I think I've ever seen. And I deal with a lot of lots that are like 25 feet in width, but they usually are a little bit longer in depth. This one is not too bad for width, but it definitely is short in depth.
And it's actually zoned in R4 right now. Is that correct?
I believe it is. Yeah, I'd have to double check. I believe it is R4. Yeah. Let me look. R4, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am sharing the plans now with the chat, into the chat. Let me find it.
I was just looking. I'm glad I'll pull it up.
All right. So I just shared the plans in the chat. There was an ask about the rendering, so I wanted to show it or share it.
The rendering or the site plan?
I think this is good. I think this suffices here. All right, is there any other questions? All right, seeing none, I would like to go ahead and move forward with the vote of approval with contingencies, which has seemed to be answered. Moving forward, all those who are in favor, please use the raise hand feature at this time. Motion to approve with the contingency of not blocking the alleyway. All right, what's the number?
10. Oh, 12.
Well, all right, closing it now. All those who wish to deny, Palmer Lorian. All those who wish to deny, please use the raise hand feature at this time. All those who wish to deny. All right. I think we have 0. All those who wish to abstain, please use the raise hand feature at this time. 1. So motion carries 12-0-1.
All right, great. Thank you all very much.
All right, appreciate it.
Happy holidays to everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you at the BZA.
All right, see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye. Thanks.
All right, moving forward. Paul, you had your hand raised?
I just want to make one comment about this. I've heard a lot of questions. One thing to realize, we're doing a variance here to allow on an existing lot to make it buildable. You do never use the variance process to variance yourself into an R5 zoning. You can't do that. Okay, so if someone's thinking that they're going to do variances on a standard lot and suddenly make it something else, that will not be allowed.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it, Paul.
Mr.
right,
Chair,
moving
point of
forward.
order. I've entered into the chat the High Point case number. I believe it's for ATL. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
ATL. So that case number has been entered into the chat for the presenter.
Thank you. All right, moving forward. The next item is old business. Old business. All right, moving forward. All right. So the first item in old business, and the only item in old business, is the Community Impact Grant Closeout 2021. I'm going to share my screen briefly. Kelly Jean, you would unshare it. Yep, thank you. All right, so the closeout, we currently have receipts from the NPU-Y marketing. We also have receipts from the Joyland community, and we're looking for one more receipt from the Lakewood Heights community with the soccer, which should be coming up soon. So in order to be eligible for a 2022 impact grant, we must close out all documentation. That means all receipts, any pictures. We must have a zero balance. We also should be approved projects only. I talked to Tony earlier this week, and everything I mentioned as far as changing up some of the projects has been approved by Tony, so we're good there. The only piece that we're missing for this is submitting it by the 31st, but also getting the last invoice. And once we get the last invoice, we'll go ahead and close out. That is, also we did get the yard signs. So this is actually the one that's in my yard now. So this is the front and this is the back. So the front says we stand united and the back says stand with us. And then we're going to have a QR code that points you into a join link. So there's going to be a join link here, npui.org. You can scan the code to be able to do that. We will be delivering this to various residents. And if you're interested, just add your name to the chat below if you're interested in getting a yard sign. But we will be hand delivering this to various residents. We also waiting on t-shirts. The t-shirts are coming in tomorrow. So we've already paid. The t-shirts has been created. We expected it to come in today, but they're delayed by 1 day. So t-shirts are coming in tomorrow. If you're interested in a t-shirt, Then we do have Monique is on the line. She has a Google form link that you can apply. And if you want a t-shirt, please apply in that Google form link and we will order you a t-shirt. If it's within, it's first come, first serve. So if it's within our budget and we still have funds, then we'll order you a t-shirt. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body?
Is there a picture of the t-shirt?
Sure.
If we completed the form before when you were gauging interest, do we need to do it again?
No, you don't. So if you already completed the form, then we have your name and t-shirt size and address, so we'll deliver it to you. So this is the front. Ask me about my hood. Hello, NPU-Y. And the purpose of the t-shirt is to get people asking about what is the NPU-Y and to get awareness behind NPU-Y. So this is also another version, the male version. So these are the t-shirts that we ordered so far. All right, is there any, Monique?
They are unisex. I've learned that a lot of women, we're in a non-binary time, and a lot of women are not that pleased with the women type shirts. So all shirts are unisex, just so people are aware. Even though the woman model looks like it's more fitted, we opted to not do that just so that we didn't have that issue. And I want to say that some city people are asking about our shirt, and I've been very reluctant to tell people about our shirts in this way because I think it should be unique to the South Side. But we are still in conversations with the city of Atlanta because they want this shirt to be all over the NPU. I don't know. I'm like, all over Atlanta. I'm like, look, everybody don't know they hood like us. So I just want y'all to know we getting recognition. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
I agree with you. Monique.
So we are getting citywide recognition. Some of the NPU folks who, I guess the lead person over community engagement, Tony McNeil, reached out to us asking about the shirt, asking how can he get access so he can make it citywide. And I said, hey, we got to be the first to market. We got to get the shirts out first before you send it to everybody. But we are getting citywide recognition for that. So I appreciate the work that has been done by the special projects team, especially Monique for designing the shirt. All right. Is there any other questions?
Just wanted to speak on that last recipient, that they believe they should have the proposal executed with the summer camp, the winter camps by that 31st date. That's the only thing we have hanging out there, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a soccer winter camp during winter break, and it hasn't occurred yet, but once they execute on it, then we just need to get the receipts by the 31st so that we can send it to the city.
And it's probably a good idea to say that that money initially was allocated for the park, but because they started locking the park, we weren't able to execute it. And so that was the alternate.
Correct. So it was towards beautification of the soccer field in the park. There was locking the park and also COVID, and we couldn't use those funds. And then we talked to Tony, and Tony allowed us to use it for the summer camp that because of the case was locked. All right, moving forward. So new business. Summer, for the new business, there's the Community Impact Grant 2022. So if you are interested in submitting a project for the Impact Grant for 2022, we're looking for different ideas, and please submit it as soon as possible to secretary@npui.gmail.com. So just send it to the NPU, or you can send it to me directly, either or. And what we're just request is a brief description of the project so that we can potentially incorporate it into our next impact grant. We're going to be voting on the impact grant in January because The submission deadline is February 4th. So we need to get it in by February the 4th. Again, if you're interested, if your community is interested, please don't hesitate to reach out to Secretary NPU-Y@gmail.com. We just need a brief description or one pager, so to speak, of the idea that you're trying to implement.
Mr. Chair, don't forget to tell them the amount.
The amount is $5,000 for next year. And if we attend 3 sessions, then we will get an extra $1,500 on top of that. So it has increased from 4,000 to 5,000. Can you hear me? Hello, hello?
Yes, you're
sorry.
You're audible. You're audible.
Okay, thank you. All right. Is there any questions for the 2022 Community Impact Grant?
May I chime in just a little bit, please, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I the way I'm hearing it now is if we're going to select one applicant or one project. In times past, there have been multiple projects that have been put out there, and roughly $1,000 per project. Is it that there's a change from that process? Is that what we're now changing the policy on that?
That's a good point. So what has happened with the city recently in the last meeting that we had with the impact grant is that they're trying to be more, I would say, competitive. So before, what we was trying to do, or what they was trying to do, whoever applied, they just gave you the money. But now they will have a peer review process where different officials from the city will review impact grants and they will allocate it based on impact. So what we'll need to do in this specific case is understand the projects we have and then try to get a narrative around all the projects. We've so far only seen one idea, and that's from Chosewood Park. And I think their project falls in the narrative that we're trying to paint, which is engagement, essentially. We want to have a large push for engagement for next year. But if there's any other ideas that you think is unique and impactful, please send to us, and we would try to fit it into the narrative as much as we can. Is there any other questions?
So is it fair to say that you can write a grant for 1,000 and you can write a grant for 6,500 or 5,000, and that each will be viewed?
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing whatever you want, and we will try to figure out ways to accommodate it the best we can. And I'll let you know once I receive it and I read through it. I'll let you know, hey, yeah, we can do this. We'll move forward. Because only thing we'll need to do is just make sure the narrative is impactful, which I think we can do. So yeah, we definitely will do that. One thing we're going to do next year is we're not going to send checks directly to the neighborhood or whoever. We're going to ask that you go ahead and send us the invoice and we'll pay the vendor directly. That's because we need to get these, like it's really hard to get the receipts after the fact. As you know, right now we have 10 days before we're eligible, which is we're pushing the deadline. So we'll want to make sure in the future that we get the receipts immediately so that we can submit to the city. So I'm gonna work with the treasurer, Jimmy, to do that, as well as the project manager. All right, moving forward. Is there any other questions before I move forward? Monique, did you have your hand raised, or?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I've been waiting on my committee report, but
Okay,
I don't.
We're moving to it right now. All right, moving forward. I'm gonna start my sharing my screen. All right, Kelly Jean, you can share the screen again. All right, moving forward to committee reports, as Monique mentioned. You have 2 minutes. We'll start with education, since Monique, since you already announced. Go ahead, you're on mute.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Hey Mo.
Hello. Oh, good. I'm sorry. I'm babysitting and it's lots of kids here. Anyway, so pretty much my main thing, I know it's the end of the year, is I just want to say thank you to all those who donated to our Friends of Carbon Clusters Angel Tree in connection with the new school, which is the school I teach at. Right now, we raised $2,500. On Wednesday, we raised $1,500 in one day. And so it's really exciting to be able to provide bikes and TVs and pots and pans, and also like fun stuff like tablets and hoverboards to kids in our neighborhood. So that's the kind of work we hope to do as we look to work in our neighborhood to build a education foundation for our carbon cluster schools that'll kind of step outside of the NPU space to kind of make sure we're in a space where we can really stretch into scholarship development. There needs to be better programming. We're also going to start working to have school tours with principals so we can learn more about our schools. So if you've taken your kids out of our schools, how can we support you in learning more about our schools, and how can we bring them up to your standards and make them quality schools that our community wants to go to? As we learned at our last meeting, we're missing almost 2,000 students from our school, whether they're in private school, charter school, or homeschool. They're not in our neighborhood schools, and what that leaves is blighted buildings when we go beneath a certain threshold that allows the utility of the building to be optimal, right, to pay bills. And so keep that in mind as we think about these spaces in our community that we're hoping to build community revitalization in this neighborhood. Schools are a part of that revitalization strategy. As we make partnerships with PATH and the Beltline and developers, we have to think about schools. They are huge spaces. And so we've been working and talking to principals in our neighborhood. We're going to have a new principal next year at Carver High School. I want you guys to be engaged in that process. I'm going to be talking directly with Purpose-Built Schools to see how community can give input on our next principal at our high school. It is going to be very vital and important how the trajectory of our high school goes, because that determines if parents will send their children to our schools or we'll have empty buildings. So just be cognizant of that. Next meeting is January. Y'all, we said it. January 10th. Sorry, Monday, January 10th. So I will share that on a calendar. Make sure everybody knows for the education committee as we continue to figure out what does programming look like in our schools. And as far as the education of people in our neighborhood, we're doing the T-shirts and the pamphlets and the yard signs. So that'll also come in that space too. It's just trying to get the community aware of how they can engage. What talents and skills can you bring to the table so that we can make our schools better? We know where they are. We would love, love, love to make them a choice school like we see in our neighboring schools. And that means y'all got to be at the table, so I love y'all. Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
And special shout out to Monique. You had over the last education committee was a strong showing. You had more people that I've seen in any committee of NPU-Y over the last year I've been serving. So appreciate that. Moving forward to public safety.
Thank you, Troy. In conjunction with the NPU marketing campaign, the conversation has been around using and taking advantage of this widespread effort to reach all 10 or 11 communities and focus concurrently on the Neighborhood Watch program. Most in the sound of my voice are aware and know she's now Deputy Chief Murphy. She now heads the community outreach of City Atlanta as one of the deputy chiefs. She is, as she goes out the door, she's in her last 18 months, wants to help support us in bringing back and bringing alive the Neighborhood Watch program. Stacy Spriggs, who's not here, she's a traveling nurse. I talked with her earlier today. She has been an integral part of creating a kind of a trifold flyer that we're using and that has been adopted. I don't know, did we vote on that Troy, but it has been adopted at least by certain members of the executive team as being a very good a component, an integral component of this marketing campaign. It's a trifold flyer that speaks to the monthly meetings, all the neighborhoods that are involved in the NPU. But most importantly, if Kelly, if you will bring up just quickly that image I sent earlier, what we've seen tonight, and I don't know if any of you
Gloria, can you be more specific? Do you mean the loitering images?
That was the only, yes, please. What we heard tonight, and probably most compelling in our public safety issues, is what the repeated epicenter of all that is keeping Lakewood, and I would dare say South Atlanta, from moving forward. We won. These are examples that Jazz has taken over time. These examples set the basis for us winning against 1634 at the last LRB hearing. That, coupled with police reports, that coupled with Lieutenant Siklowski's report. What I will say that Captain Adams was a little bit off on, that camera at Rhodesia and Jonesboro pans all the way down to the fire department and all the way down to Richmond. However, it did not capture those individuals as they got behind the post office, that distance between 1634 and the corner of Lethia and Jonesboro. But what I think I will reiterate, and what I think is compelling, is the fact that it is still Richmond. Everything that was at Chevron, which is now without a liquor license, is morphed over to 1634. Again, as you see the loitering, the committee, the LRB, its finding was based primarily on one issue, and that is the lack of control of the premises, coupled with the rescinding their permission to view the cameras both on the inside. As you heard earlier, those three individuals who were shot at the corner of Lethia and Jones, they left the store and headed that way. Again, when going to the LRB, that is the main emphasis of the continued lack of control. And again, we will get to hear again from the applicant himself, but I think there's nobody that would not agree that that's our desire to see the alcohol licenses ameliorate, if not disappear, until we can get a regrouping of the culture in that community or in that area.
And just to add to that, yeah, thank you, Gloria. Just to add, so we do plan, me and Gloria had conversations about this, and we do plan to do a town hall meeting where we're bringing all the leaders of public safety into one location so that we can address the issues with Lakewood Heights. So if you haven't, please send a message to Gloria asking to join the public safety committee so that we can get this public safety handled in NPU-Y. Is very important, and it's just a thing that affects all of us. Jazz?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to mention that 2 teenagers were shot during this. I actually watched from my window as they were, as a passerby just got out of his car and started helping them. And it was right around the corner from the fire department. I don't have teenagers. These teenagers go to schools in South Atlanta. These are our kids, our future. This is everyone's issue. So I want to be clear of this. I might be the person that's always complaining about this, but it's also because I am literally watching this and hearing bullets hit my roof that affects your kids. That's it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Gloria.
Yes.
You
Can you
should
please share? Sorry.
But go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
If I can, Heather, it's a little bit bigger than what Troy. We'd like to convene with Chief Murphy, the COPS unit. The COPS unit had been very integral 3 years ago in helping us establish and get installed those neighborhood watch signs. But again, and there's a formal training period that's not just, and so we're looking, and that's what we're really looking for, to see how many folks are interested in the training and to see where we can go from there. I can easily drop my information in the chat if that will help. But again, I think, Troy, the thrust of our conversation was bringing in Chief Murphy, the cadre, into making it formal training, and then trying to use that system to motivate and keep the, to make it a bona fide program whereby, again, people look to it for their needs and to motivate and galvanize the community.
Yeah, thank you. Heather, go ahead.
Yeah, Gloria, if you can just share your contact information, that'd be great.
All right. moving forward, is there anybody from Lakewood Oversight or Lakewood Finance? Moving into the next year, we do have nominations, or I have nominations or appointees that I reached out to, and I am pleased that 100% of the appointees that I reached out to has accepted. I'm going to share the appointees before the meeting, before January meeting, because we ratify all appointees in January's meeting. So I am very pleased that next year we'll have an entire slate of committee chairpersons. Every single role has been filled, and I'm just so pleased from the community, and I appreciate everybody's commitment to the community. All right, moving forward. Is there any other committees? Oh, Yolanda, go ahead.
Yes, like Lakewood, I didn't have anything. I just wanted to wish everybody happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yes.
All right. Also, if you haven't got some wine, go ahead and get some. Do a toast at the end. Any announcements? Or water, for that matter. Any announcements? Please use the raise hand feature at this time. Any announcements? All right, moving forward, the planners report.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, everyone. My name is Krishana Marie Newton, and I'm your new NPU-Y planner. It's an honor to be here with you guys, and I love hearing all your guys' voice and all of the things that you've been doing. I do live nearby. I'm actually an NPU-Z, but I have worked in all of the NPUs. I was kind of known as the hopper around planner during my earlier years, doing a lot of research on the NPUs and the legislative process, but I was housed in NPU-Q for quite some time as well. So thank you guys for bringing me in tonight. Troy, is it okay I go ahead and share my screen of the planners report?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Kelly Jean, you can share.
Please let me know whenever you're ready.
We're ready.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. So I did drop the planner's report in here tonight. I know it's known as the planner's script, but I don't like to sound like a robot. So I'll briefly go through each item. Everything is digestible, and everything is a click away from you guys. So copy, paste at your fingertips, drop in your phone, mobile phone, whatever you see fit. I need to remove this screen so I can see myself. Stop seeing myself in the mirror. But we have a few items on here, just 4 items on the planner's report tonight. The first one is in response to the increased illegal construction activity during the pandemic, the Department of City Planning has expanded code enforcement for buildings and zoning. To report illegal construction work or suspected property violation, just go to CodeBusters DCP at atlanta.ga.gov. I would highly recommend subject line going to be with the address of where you're trying to cite that location. That way the code enforcement can get to that a lot more quickly because there's a designated zoning inspector or violator for each NPU currently dedicated. So that would help out a lot if you add the address to it. Is there any questions about item 1?
No questions.
Okay, no questions. Okay, so item number 2 is the department is currently working on expanding the city's food truck program. This will allow food trucks to operate more in commercial areas throughout the cities. There will be a listening session on the proposed program in January, and more information to be distributed to the NPUs. Some of the information that will be distributed will be highlighting the zoning classifications where this will be allowed, specifically within your NPU realm. So it will be generated on a map, So you guys will have kind of that visual aid to directly look at to say where food trucks would be allowed, where do you find it most appropriate in your neighborhood. And then Ben is the hostess over that. So if you have any information to him, his email address is attached in the planner's report. Are there any questions about item number 2? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So item number 3 is the department is finishing up the 2021 neighborhood directory. If you haven't already done so, please be sure to send the contact information for all 2021 NPUs and neighborhood association officers to Mr. McNeil. Everybody knows him. He's part of the neighborhood planner for the NPU team. By December 18th, which already passed the deadline. So I'm assuming you guys have already done that, and I definitely see your website. So I'm sure you guys are up to date with all of this. Any questions on that one?
Questions?
Okay, perfect. The last item on the list is the DCP boards and commissioners have announced that their 2021 schedules. This means that you guys know the scheduled hearing dates for ZRB, BZA, and CDH coming up. In the next year, this will be zoning adjustment, zoning review board, tree conservation, and urban design commissions. And then they also adopted new application deadlines that are associated and affiliated with this. If you guys have any additional questions about this, feel free to reach out to me. The website here is actually wrong, so I'm actually going to copy and paste the correct one in the chat portal after this. Is there any questions about this item?
This is 2022 schedules, right?
Yeah, 2022.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just a typo.
Gotcha. No questions.
Any questions? Okay, perfect. And that concludes my planner's report. As I said before, everything is a click away from you guys, and it's highlighted in the attachment there. If you guys have any questions, I did add my email address to the chat portal, so feel free to reach out if you have any. As I learn more about the lay of the land of NPU-Y, I hope to looking forward to working with you guys. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Appreciate the service that you have given on behalf of the city of Atlanta. Thank you. All right. Is there any questions for the benefit of the body? Please use the raise hand feature at this time. All right, seeing none. Is there, we heard Councilperson-elect Antonio Lewis office speak. Is there any other elected officials on the call at this time? I will make sure that they will be on the next call. All right, so I want to just give a toast. So I have my glass. If you haven't gotten your glass, go ahead and get you some water or some wine or
brown liquor. Oh boy.
Wait a couple.
I have a ketchup bottle.
All I've got is smart water, so.
That works.
All right, since we have some time, it's 8:30, which is our fastest meeting to date. I'm gonna give a toast, but I want to go around and see if anybody else want to give a toast before I give a toast. I know this was last minute, so you don't necessarily have to give a speech. Anybody want to go around the room or around the virtual room, so to speak?
I'd like to toast the ancestors.
Oh, that definitely.
I'm Linda Brown, Park Place South, toasting the ancestors.
Yep, toasting
All
our
of them.
ancestors.
Okay.
So we stand on the backs of our ancestors, and that's what lifts us up. So we're here.
Yes.
Salute.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Hey. Yes.
Is there anybody else?
Yeah.
Or you had something?
Oh, I got one.
Yay.
I would like to give a toast to all of the NPU-Y from South Atlanta to Lakewood, Polar Rock, the whole nine. I want us all to think back to how we've all been locked up in the house, and think back also to how our neighborhood has changed for the better. When you go down University Avenue, look at the parks that have opened up and our access to the Beltline, all these great things that are happening. And remember, I might talk about the 3 bad things that are happening, but let me tell you, there's 10,000 great things happening in our neighborhood. We all have to remember that. Look at all the brand new neighbors that we have that actually care. Look at all the people who are in here in this chat room that were only like 10 or 12 a year ago. Oh my God. I gotta tell you, there might be bullets coming through the window, but I love where I live. I gotta tell you, look at this bamboo. I love where I live. So I just want you all to realize that we're in a great place. There are people who are living in houses like ours that are paying twice as much. You need to realize that you are in a great spot, and all you got to do is care, and things will get better. They do. That's it.
Okay, what was that old acronym? You gotta give us one more time, Jazz. That acronym.
ACT.
ACT. Give us that acronym.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's so 2020. Let's move forward to 2022.
No, it's always applicable. What is it again? It's acknowledge your neighbors, care, and pick up trash. That's always applicable. That never gets old.
But we really have to. We have to care and not draw lines, because the bullets in Lakewood are coming into South Atlanta.
Yeah.
Fact.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So cheers to love and caring for NPU-Y.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And all the beautiful faces.
Is there anybody else?
Yeah.
I just want to say we're new to the neighborhood. We've been here for 7 months now, and it's been so wonderful attending these meetings and learning all the different things going on in the neighborhood. So just cheers to new neighbors and cheers to being in this fantastic neighborhood. We are so pleased and couldn't be more excited about the future.
Nice.
Cheers to new neighbors.
Welcome.
Welcome. You're here.
Hey, I'm just over here so grateful for my amazing husband that leads our house and leads our NPU. So kudos to my boo who's been just leading the show. Go boo, go boo. Okay, that's it, y'all. And kudos to y'all for coming for sure. Y'all don't even know, like when I first met him, he was so quiet. He was just,
all right, so cheers to leadership. Cheers to leadership. Babe, don't say the story. Don't say.
I'm just so excited. Okay,
all right, so cheers.
Or I say.
This is my first year as NPU chair, so cheers to new leadership. So just to know, we had new leadership across the board in our NPU as well as in city council. So I just want to say cheers to all the leaders that's out there that's serving. And that's every single one of you, because you are all spending the time out of your calendar to join this meeting. So we appreciate that. Cheers. Cheers, new leaders.
Cheers. Cheers. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Is there anybody else?
I'd like to make a cheers real quick. Just one toast.
Yep.
I'd like to also toast leadership. I'd like to toast the amazing folks on this call who are taking the time out of their evenings to be able to do this. Of course, like you said, there is new leadership there, but the fact is that none of this happens. Nothing that Antonio Lewis's office can do happens without folks like you all in this community. So I appreciate the dedication that you all have had over months, over years' time, and really caring about this community. Antonio, myself, and our staff, we're real community-based organizers. I'm actually on the campaign right now in Virginia, working with state workers here, and I'll be back, flying back in the morning. But just knowing that the power of any community is based fully and holistically on the folks of that community. So I want to say cheers to y'all on this call, and I look forward to working with you all as we move forward.
Yeah.
Thank you,
To the
Micah.
community, to the power of the community.
Micah, we're so happy as to how accessible he is. We dropped a dime on him last Monday afternoon, and he was there in our meeting Monday evening. So it's and selling jobs, talking about Marta. And we hear he had an audience with Tyler Perry. We don't know if that's undercover, but we say pull it down, and whoever you can use to pull it down. Again, apparently Marta hired like 50 people, or at least interviewed them. And then sounds like Goodwill is about to take on the cause that you guys are putting. So we're just happy, delighted, accessibility, the energy, and the change, period.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And I appreciate you even seeing the work we're doing. Believe me, it doesn't come easy. We have a whole lot of early mornings and late nights, and he hasn't even gotten officially sworn in yet. So I'm looking forward to doing the same kind of work that you all have been doing and trying to level up even on that foundation. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Cheers to accessibility.
Without a doubt.
Is there anybody else?
You got any more wine to serve?
I'm running out.
Hi, my name's Kelly. I am also new here. I've been in the neighborhood since October. And I want to cheers to my neighbor Alira for really helping me out, getting acclimated with the community. And so I really hope I can meet everyone eventually and like really start to participate. This is my second meeting, so I definitely hope that in the new year I can meet everybody. I hope we can meet in person. I was telling Alira, we need to have a block party. We need to do stuff. So I hope that eventually I'll get to meet everybody in person and we'll start to really work, because I really want to see the community grow. And I'm excited to be here.
Nice.
Cheers to growth in Alira.
Where's Alira? We hadn't heard from Alira. Is she still on?
Is she still here?
Yes, I'm still here. Thanks, Kelly, for the cheers.
You're welcome.
We definitely have to do a block party soon too. So.
Yes, I'm down for it.
Yeah. How about Mina? Mina, you gonna say hi to us?
Is Mina on?
Yeah, she's
Saw her on earlier.
I see her.
Hey.
Hey, Mina.
How are y'all?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties unmuting, but it is great to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for letting us sit in and just listen to everything you guys have to say. It's going to be a good 4 years getting our community together and getting these problems fixed once and for all.
Thank you.
Cheer. Mina is also part of Antonia Lewis's cabinet, so to speak. She handles the legislation, and she's been lobbyist for years, and she knows the legislation really well. So I was really impressed in our last meeting. Yeah.
I think Mia, you also had the transition team as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. So after transition, I'll be moving over and working on some policy and still doing some communications, but mostly policy and around also development. So a little bit of everything, but mostly policy.
Nice. The transition is working more smoothly now?
Yes, it definitely is. Compared to the last time when all of us were on the call, it is going way smoother now. We have a lot more information, and it's a lot. We have the biggest district in the city, which I think we all sometimes forget. District 12 is the biggest land-wise. So it's a lot to do, but we're getting it done.
Wow, nice. Very nice.
So is there anybody else who'd like to give a cheers or toast?
Troy, you better end this meeting while your wife is still speaking very highly of you.
Yeah. I don't want to be in the doghouse. Or the man cave. My doghouse is luxury. I got a man cave. So.
They call it a man cave.
So this year, as NPU-Y, we have done so much work. We've done the CDP. We have literally broken records with attendance. We've did so many different partnerships around the community, and it has been a testament to us to be able to grow together and see how can we make our community bigger and better. So I just wanted to give a toast to building a better community, building a community that we all would strive. And we love our community, as Jazz mentioned, and this is one of the best NPUs. We're literally making groundbreaking work on behalf of the city in our NPU. So cheers to building a better community.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yes. Ashe. Absolutely.
And I appreciate the just the different partnerships we've made, partnerships from purpose-built schools to the city to city officials, and we continue to make those partnerships with the public safety and APD and with businesses. And it's just a pleasure to figure out ways that we all can be united, because that's what it takes from a community. It's just not just one specific type of neighbor. It's all the neighbors working together as one cohesive unit. So I appreciate the unity that we have in our NPU and the love that we have for it. So I appreciate everybody. This has been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure working as the chairperson.
Yes.
All right. With that being said, is there any other questions before we adjourn? So I'd like to wish everybody a happy holidays, happy New Year's, happy Christmas. I appreciate everybody for attending. I know it's December and everybody's on vacation or personal time off, but you have taken the initiative to come to the NPU, and that means a lot to us. And that means that you are a leader that cares for the community, and I appreciate that. So thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna keep the conversation going. If anybody have any other questions or concerns, we're gonna keep the conversation going for another 15 minutes. But can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Gloria.
Moved by
Second,
Gloria
Kelly Jean.
and seconded by Kelly Jean. All those in favor, just say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed to adjourning at this moment? All right, with that being said, the meeting is officially adjourned. I'm going to close the recording now.